That they are, but is it one that they're not going to want to continue to? But it seems as if they are. The utility spot on, and nekky getting a double kill. At least she was able to answer back in the conversation, but so many bodies here trying to protect the spike should give Joblife no look in.
Shock dart queued up by starxo, potential for huge damage on players which have already taken a hit in the corner.
Revealing area.
Utility to re-engage back through. They know where nekky is. Good shock dart will net the kill, but the paranoia still delays. 40 seconds to play with the right click not hitting. But
a player whose time in VCT previously in stage 1 could be summarized by being so heavy in first engagements is the one to wrap up the pistol for Joblife. It was a nice...
It's the same two players that were able to hold it down last time on site. Echo straight into the kill feed once again. That's unbelievable. Audaz still here into graffiti, firing off shots, but not hitting. Chiwa gets two of his own, and with that ultimate invested, they should now know that the players are coming from flank.
Yeah, it's a backside plant instead of a rotation. Joblife in a great position here post.
That they are, and starxo from the corner. Pops
Defensive
up.
control.
Does, but a peek into purple will net the kill. And that's exactly what ULF will be looking for, is that's 2-1 versus Joblife. Where do you go to try and get numbers back on your side? Realistically, it needs to be a clean gunfight. Nekky in the corner. I don't know if his barrel's been seen. CyvOph certainly has been noted, pinned out. And I think if Joblife can try and get out cleanly, that would be a big thing for them, because they'll be able to keep their numbers.
Yeah. You typically don't want to go down if you're trying to win the round, and into B they'll head. But a quick rotation can be called here for ULF. Plant being stuck. Flash from Favian, I believe it might have been actually, catches off his own teammate, not able to capitalize on the player. And what that environment looked like. The faith put in him on Joblife though. This is a quick set piece which they've called. Using the Rolling Thunder to gut out the garage as Purpo's already wrapped all the way through B. Position was expected by nekky, and the traps on site are lighting up targets. That rich environment fired into. And a 4 versus 2 when the dust settles. CyvOph the last remaining here. And as good as we know, this is a cam contact. As soon as the spy cam from Echo spots the first player sewers, audaz is going to let loose on this paranoia and go for a play.
Contact still not taken, the player peaks, but chiwa able to be out, and as well as purple, finding Echo. ULF just caught a little off guard, unsure if that was from the Omen ultimate or if it's from elsewhere, but not ready for the fight, and that spike can go down.
Yeah, it's a slight mistiming, miscommunication there perhaps for ULF that has opened up the site for Joblife. Into the retake, they're going to invest the ult.
They're going to try and go for it. Whether this is a good investment or not is one that will be decided by the round win. And I mean, the chances of winning this is getting shorter and shorter. And a proactive chiwa is already on a flank, so Favian realistically should have no chance of getting out, but he's trying to play for his ultimate that has come online for the next round. And chiwa even
all too often, Shin bringing it out to try and establish a little more control down on A potentially here, or at least fake the idea. Proactivity shown by ULF, trying to feed back into the space. Breach util should condemn nekky, but it's not to an early grave. It's a kill picked up onto CyvOph, now moving on to C. audaz fills the gap. It's scrappy, but at the end of the day, Joblife are trailing by a player.
And now it's up to Shin. He needs to take a step forward and try and find something to get it in Joblife's favour. But as he do, picked up by the op, and it's a starxo on 4 HP to clutch.
With the op in hand, gonna try his luck, but there are multiple angles to consider. ULF reading into this quite heavily and could have a huge reward for it.
Well, they could. This purple's the first one in all alone, and there's still a player out in garage. He could take his time in as well. Sop waiting to go, waiting for the initiation to support him, and as he comes out, players of Joblife assault into the backside and win out. Purple, absolutely massive, and he looks to try and get it.
Definitely Especially with the sour note that it started on, you can see the panic setting in total. Looking for more in this A-lobby fight.
Could be more as well, as Purple has no way of getting out, and Favian even supporting that. With the spike lost, ultimate's being forced to be invested, and that's a second tag, deep, but not the one that they were looking for. Favian continuing his win in the aim duels, and Joblife getting caught off guard left, right and centre. This is the most touching.
Onto the site now.
Slowly but surely, the way that they scale, waiting to see what Echo finds on the other side of the map, and well, it will be nothing. That's the go button pressed off the back of that pick, but Purple in the corner not accounted for, will be able to get one himself. Joblife looking to flood back in, and they'll take a mighty advantage in towards the retake.
Yeah, audaz has an empty util belt here. This one feels doomed.
And it does. Sheriff in hand, we need to be quick.
Initiators behind this and two players outside garage. ULF just gonna send it right out of the gate. Chiwa has so much work to do here with the Bulldog. They're yet to cross the threshold. He's drawn a line in the sand and is doing well to hold them back. One kill is all it's gonna end up being. The rotation's still not arrived.
No, it's not. They've taken their time, but the spike is finally down, and all three players for Joblife are going through CT.
And when you spoke about those lurks from Echo before, he's brought a friend to the party. It's audaz with him, both working through B. Does leave the C site a little bit vulnerable in the process, but as long as Sop can keep on shooting, then maybe the problem is a bit.
Yeah, I thought Chiwa was going to find a little gap to work with. You see it when the stun comes in just before he gets found. He sidesteps it, and perhaps he was on for more there, just can't get the shots to hit. Fairly clean round overall.
They are going to go C.
I mean, it's a late call, and if this pick could be found, Purple could hinder this site exec. Although ULF already so far scaled, it shouldn't cause a problem for the spike to go down. But the problems are therefore on the retake, on the players trying to get back in. But it will be delayed ever momentarily as that spike goes down. The utility traded, and ULF coming out on top in the gunfights, in the engagements, and still keep themselves ahead. Purple has to pick up a Phantom that was lost on the attempt to come back in. But they have to try and find clean evil Joblife coming into this map.
Yeah, starxo stunned. A target just lays waste to Sop as he pushes into the site. Drop the recon out in a panicked moment, but while it screams desperation, it's seeming to do the job for Joblife. Now in a 4 versus 2 situation, both players pushing from the choke, guarded by Chiwa. Nekky finds it through the smoke, and Favian follows up. Warning lights flaring. ULF in a strong position now.
Yeah, there should be no way that ULF should have been able to come back into this, but retaking with an op is tough.
Slight overstep, not working out for them. Purpo looking to close up the distance here with the op, making his presence known as much as possible. Favian turns his back to the situation, lets Nekky watch it from graffiti, long covered. So is defender side Spawn. Right now, I have to say, capitulating on an EMEA stage.
That's kind of the story of Joblife in general. Sure, they had a pretty tough matchup that should have gone their way, but there was also other opportunities in that Ascension run that they should have taken that they didn't. And that should be the main takeaway from it, as the entry pick was found, the spike immediately down on C, and ULF with a post plant set up, and Joblife should have no way back into this one.
The question is, do they choose to invest anymore? Purpo's already drawn blades. That was the expectation. First kill, an equalizer. 4 on 4. CyvOph still with the ult. The Rolling Thunder yet to be invested, but now might finally be the time. Purpo's picked up another. Now they've got numbers, and that's where CyvOph throws it into the mix. Purpo still going, still hitting headshots, leaving it all down to Sop and his outlaw. We just got to walk back through the...
I mean, I'm glad that we aren't seeing them flatline, but at the same time, 5 alive in towards a retake. Purple just chopping and dicing his way through the rest of the players alive. Good ultimate.
A potential push on the Joblife side, but it's not come in yet. Purpo finally showing himself with this operator, and starxo backing up from garage, giving ULF the time of day to put themselves on the C site, and that's when the Hunter's Fury finally sees itself used. Just the one tag of the 3 pulses hit, and the spike going in, with ULF having expansive control.
And it's getting even worse, because Echo's got the next pick, and Chiwa on his luck has been caught off guard as well. So as it gets worse and worse, ULF have everything they need to finish this one out.
And they do. Echo the next. Favian not too far behind. Sivo will respond with this operator, but it is on borrowed time that he continues his stead in this round. Sop making the run the long way round and just outside of audible range. CyvOph 1 bullet left in the op. It's in a moment's time you expect him to go down. I mean, he's actually managed to hit the following shot. And with the classic...
They need to.
Yeah, Joblife have given themselves every chance, but they've got to go ahead and win one now. Double digits calling their name as ULF will be hoping to close things up before it gets out of hand. Quick trade. Echo trying to snake his way through the sewers and onto the A site. starxo in the drone could get himself caught here. It's Sop through B instead. Absolute pandemonium taking place in the server as Echo makes his escape through Link. And Joblife are left searching on this B plant. Still fighting this is Echo, but it's just a 1-for-1. Sop following it up. Chaos in round 21. That favors ULF.
And it does, and both players towards backside. How does Chiwa dice up these engagements?
He's going to have to find Sop first of all, and from this corner it's a difficult clear. But Chiwa is surgical. And with the hat lifted from his head. But ULF don't want to rush things.
Oh no, trying to bust through the smoke, and it's audaz, that man again, who pops up when needed. But Chiwa's at the back of sight.
Yeah, and he's gonna have to play this position all by himself. 125 HP, first fight taken in 1, but it's these even trades that just don't favor Joblife. ULF winning out in almost every front, and with Purpo caught in garage, look at the quick reposition of 2 players Link.
And it is 2 players low as well. That's the other thing to consider. So maybe 1 spray down could grab 2, but look at the positioning of these players. They're all disconnected, all for making sure that they can't be found in a quick spray.
Yeah, it's a ridiculous post plant. Spike drop backside, but only 1 avenue to consider now if you're Joblife. It's from C-Link. Nekky still playing with the ult, as you say.
What?
The tag is going to damage Purpo. The up draft sells him short. He flies over the top and gets caught mid-air. audaz to close it, and he...
Very interesting one, is it looks as if it's going to be another straightforward take, and Joblife with their pistol round win rate continue on as it's 4 kills in a row. audaz, the man to watch in that last series on the Omen, is completely overwhelmed.
Full focus on this. Joblife looking to fight through showers again, and it's going to start with Sivo dropping at the first time of asking, and Purpo TPing off, leaving over towards A as Echo is continuing to buy the attention of Joblife, biting into this. Purpo catches wind of this execution now in motion. Rotating back over, and like you say, the delay has bought enough time for Joblife to have 3 bodies on the B site when the push comes to shove.
But look at the time.
Yeah, catching damage on the way, 14 seconds, and the plant's still not in. Finally, they pull the trigger, and all find the results that they were looking for. 2 kills in the feed, a 5-on-2. The numbers reflect what feels like a dominant scoreline, but it was a slow creep that's only just about got in.
Yeah, the fact that all 5 are still alive amazes me. But you look at the 2 low players and look at how far back they are.
Joblife won't make any real meaningful attempt at this. Echo realizes that his head had been spotted and punishes Purpo for any missed shots. starxo's going to be looking for something here with a threat here that Shin has to dissuade.
What he does, tries to destroy the information utility, but instead it's starxo who gets destroyed himself, the information player. 4-4 as chiwa does get onto his opposite number, but Purple, coming from showers, doesn't anticipate the corner. And
this is a util combo to the right-hand side of Hookah's, forced CyvOph up to take this fight on the chin. It's chiwa that ends up dying for him in the end. Sacrifice may just be in vain because ULF don't even want to touch this space with a 10-foot barge pole. Joblife in the meantime get proactive down short where the execution is coming in. starxo to greet them, he'll find one. Shin the next couple, 2-on-2.
Yeah, but no upgrades to be found, so it's a Bucky to come back into this.
Oh, nekky abusing the timing, round the corner, knife drawn, and CyvOph given half a chance. The low buy from Joblife could be everything for them here. Smoke up, audaz playing from the other side, has one more start to stop CyvOph from sticking it, and buys himself a little bit of time in the process, but as the smoke drops, so does... In their execution, Nightfall showstopper, big tools. Looking at the op here of Purple.
And with that being said, the site's been chosen, and ULF are ready to execute.
Yeah, Shin still has a lot of stall here, at least towards Shower's side. There's only going to be one player pushing in from there. It is Favian with the showstopper.
Yeah. He
Full
does have
committed, most of the site cleared out, and yeah, Spike goes down.
Orbital strike to at least buy a little bit more time, but with 30 seconds remaining, ULF don't need to panic, they don't need to sweat just yet, and that molly's missed. Purple's op hasn't, and it's at least got one back in the conversation.
Yeah, breaks his silence in the round. Huge pickup for him. Favian still with the showstopper late though. And a star. No, not on the spike. Okay, not too much stall here from ULF. They do have to play this.
That they do, and when they do, they activate at the right time. Favian even finding a space in towards heaven. Unbelievable. Every single time. You can't think that it's going to be an ULF round. It's the playstyle that suits him the most.
Yeah, it's interesting because he wasn't running this all too much on his time in Giant X, albeit thrown to multiple roles, but when playing Duelist, yeah, nowhere near as much as the 30% op usage that we're getting out of him right now. starxo with an opening kill though. That could be a change of the tide and the fortunes of Joblife. This Viper's Pit has fundamentally altered how they're holding the map, and it's a shift from the duelist on the extremities to it actually being a player that can go ahead and take proactive information, the fades. And in the meantime, CyvOph does go down on the A site though, leaving just chiwa here.
No ultimates to bring things, no equalisation, but a way to get out on towards the A site would be through showers, and Purple gets another kill, gets his second of the match with the operator, and the players trying to come back in. ULF have what they need. We're back to a 2-on-2, and the pit dropped.
Yeah, huge pick onto chiwa there. The decision was his to make. Did he want to keep the short space or commit to some kind of a duel? Caught in the headlights, ULF in a good, decent position, but you know, look at the post here. The plant isn't for them whatsoever. There's no utility to deny this, so Shin is going to full stick it and win Joblife, leaving themselves too overexposed. You've still got Purpo playing towards showers and CyvOph doing his thing on the B side for now. Sop finds cheer on the fade.
As he looks to scale up off the wall of the Viper's Pit. That's a big seize. Forces nekky out in the open. And CyvOph gets his kill. That should be ULF forced to make a decision on towards the A site.
Yeah, it's the solo initiator though, and the expectation that it is just faking out the info. Echo still
30 seconds
timing his run, baiting Purpo into this, but the pre-fire will claim. ULF not in a position to get this spike down all too comfortably. Joblife still attempting to fight it, but they will miss out.
Not that they will. That operator's still in play, and so is Sop, and so is Audaz, a player who has been unbelievable. And Purple's ultimate, identifying exactly where he's going, knows exactly where the last two players are. Sop looks away! That's ridiculous! It's the operator!
Unbelievable from Sop. Joblife opened up the round brilliantly, but this first kill, I would have loved to have seen it from his perspective. Continues forcing the issue. That's a dirty, dirty double. To wait to see it.
Already the utility being sent forward, so is the ultimates. This is just another chaotic round which ULF will come out the better of, and they're ready to even catch off the rotates. Spike down, advantage taken.
Need to stop the push coming out from spawn here as well. Smoked off, playing from elbow with the Cosmic Divide also invested. Final round of the half, Joblife with their last opportunity to save face.
I mean, that's the big thing. Give themselves a chance in the next half. Double duelist you expect should have a bit more manoeuvrability around the map, but they've already brought it back to an equal player count in the server, but it's the utility and what they have imposed for ULF. Already defusing, hello? Nobody's decided to try and get a player off the spike!
3 from 3, heading into their fourth, and what could be final on this attack side as Favian has already rooted out chiwa. On the orbit of A, the push coming in, 3-4 players walking through lamps to set up backside, but ULF still here to challenge it, and it's sold starxo out to dry. He's gonna get away with it in the end, but the damage is done.
Yeah, it is, and not only that, Soap's in here to try and support Favian, so that's the scary part of this round.
Audaz coming in late from defender's spawn. Lamps cleared in the meantime. starxo finding one, and the information onto the second player. Purpo in the meantime has removed Audaz, relieved of his duties, as ULF have been consistently in these pistols. Pitched again, starting to scale towards B now. A split push, and that has not gone unnoticed.
Yeah, but what's the protocols? Where do we go now if you're an ULF fan? The players being forced all the way back, but nekky looking to try and spam through and still gets a kill. starxo gone, that clearing util offline, and now nekky forced out from the corner, but still alive. How is he still keeping this going? Or proactive, they're waiting for Joblife to come to them.
And even if they do struggle with these advantages, ULF have been able to turn it around. I lied before the half, it's not 80%. Their conversion rates, but from a player deficit, they are about 10% over the team average in this event, and you've already seen the first part of that come into play. Echo opening pick, and into the setup they go again, through the Viper utility, and out of the trenches Joblife arrive. Big reveal lands on Purpo in sight, and Favian trying to deny the spike plant has done it. The satchel landing. Still buying more time for Sop, whose reprisal is later on into the round. Waiting for...
Prepare for hellfire.
Oh, that's a big ulti combined by the C's. It's lovely. And in towards the site exec they go. They've just taken off any training weights and know that this is exactly what is needed to fight fire with fire. And Joblife are thriving as every engagement goes their way. ULF will try these cheap tactics, but that's all they are.
Spike planted.
nekky looking to save the operator. Sivo chasing him down alongside the rest of Joblife. Plenty of money.
That's a collab.
Bullet pierces 2 players. Puts chiwa down on 4. But nekky's going to be lucky to get away with this one. It should be all wrapped up here. I say that money, so you can chase.
You can.
This is just
against 2, waiting for that trigger to be pulled, but it seems like instead, no, it's just going to be a high-low. They peek out slowly, peek into chiwa, but the bullets do not hit the way he wants, and ULF get their first 2 picks.
Yeah, it's a complete exhibition of how exactly you need to play that double duelist if you're trying to push down B long. Joblife should be taking notes, but instead, they're taking names. They have responded, and the shot from starxo would love to have connected. That was the way back in. The A site still cloaked in this Viper's pit.
That's the problem, right? Because they're going to be forced out of showers, and that's where audaz is watching. Already deployed a smoke. Sorry, he's taking his star back. And this is just going to have to be Sop looking for the information through his dimensional drift, which he's got plenty of.
Yeah, all 3 players spotted. Audaz triangulating the spam, lined up off 2 targets. And CyvOph made to clutch it out solo. Left to his own devices. The nade employed to give himself breathing room, but the spike plant yet to be committed to. And only just the first fight taken and won.
10 seconds left.
Bit of a gap between these two players, but time continuing to press against him, and the placement of the gravity well is perfect. He'll find himself exposed. The cash flow's dried up. And a huge ball about to be taken into long, flashed through. Sop taken out by starxo. And a 5 versus 3 in favor of Joblife.
And it is, and they've got the ultimates themselves to drag themselves over the finish line. Although we're seeing Echo with his own individual brilliance. It doesn't actually materialise in anything more than 2 kills. So it's a 3 versus 1 for audaz to clutch.
3 stars and his ult if it gets that close.
Needs to clear the first corner clean. Does so. Oh my god. There's a chance. There is a real chance. Whoa!
Stop it, you. And 2 players in the pocket ready to go. The first is Sop. You spot him. Do you expect the second of Echo? Do you even go there?
Oh. I mean, chiwa did get the pick on B, but the decision for Joblife isn't towards that B site, it's towards A. They're looking to try and overwhelm the AWP, but it's in the corner that Echo tries to get something. It doesn't go his way. The shorty of Sop does. And we're in a 2 versus 3 now.
All on audaz though. Soul B anchor has to come up huge. Big 1 versus 1 towards the garden.
30 seconds left.
You know that he's good for at least 1. Time and time again, his rifle hits the head and it comes up where it's needed once again, but no more. Well, Favian tries to come through the TP, but the 2 players for Joblife are on the other end, and Favian misses his opportunity. Time low, sure, but there's plenty of
EMEA Stage. We'll have to pull off the 1 versus 2 to stop us from heading to Ascent. It is queued up in the back. Joblife ready for it. A nade is all he has to work with.
That's it. It would be enough to dice up an engagement, keep the players away from him, but chiwa's just slow walked out, and Favian got to look at the storyline of being able to come this far. I mean, it was Pacific who...
Titan, yet to register a pistol, but on the attack it's the B play.
1 down.
Oh, and it's already Sop finding starxo. Purple still looking to try and keep this chamber alive, and he's doing so pretty well, but still, with that being said, all find themselves an advantage.
Moving into post, last little bit of utility trickling out, final smoke from audaz, and no extra space. Health pool is limited here for ULF as well.
Teleport's ready.
That is 2 headhunter bullets, and you know that if they hit, they're going to take people clean out. Engagement's not being given. Players having to reposition because of that smoke, and the paranoia looks good, but as that happens, Sop's on for the ace, immediately denied, but 2 to find for the Turkish jet would strike fear into the hearts of anyone. At the same time, and the execute looks to be coming through on A, and Joblife have read this as they commit bodies to the site.
But ULF are peeling away from this. The spike is now starting to leave, and it's a double fake left, where Sop again is trying to lead this charge with the blades elsewhere. It's through market he's going to reroute the rest of this attack. 20 seconds. No, they're going back to A again.
Oh, the decisions are being made on a dime. This is going to be a chaotic end with 15 seconds remaining. The players make their way through. Chiwa at least get 1, but doesn't deny the spike. Chiwa still continuing on. That spike on the floor is going to be a real issue. 4 seconds left. Sop needs to commit and needs to be protected by the Cypher of Echo.
On the line early. CyvOph walking through mid into the understack, caught by Favian, and chiwa taking some collateral damage on the way. Joblife still fixated on mid control, but forced to forfeit it. Now a man down. A reclamation of A main is what seems to be required for them, as the Cypher setup is still propping up their left-hand side.
And it'll continue to do so. Passive information, Cam's sitting there, trying to push forward in towards A main, and ULF immediately punish it.
Shin dropping back for the one-way here. ULF have just blitzed past it though. They're looking to hamper him down on site as much as possible. drop back into a common position. Paranoia Gen, but oh, Sop's gotten past it, not blinded up, and right up in the grill of Shin, catches him. Sleeping 4 versus 2 situation. starxo sneaking out in heaven, but very quickly
That BBL did
to put bodies on the A site.
Right, there's 4 classics here. There is 1 Spectre, and Chiwa's traps are doing their job here. But with bodies on the site, it seems as if ULF have decided they don't want anything to do with this, and they're sending it towards B.
Yeah, they're at least going to fake the runaway. Echo is walking quite tentatively because there are still scope weapons in play.
Well, there is, but to start, so if he goes uncleared here, he might have the opportunity. Steps being heard, sight beginning to be hit, opportunity taken, heads on the floor. Unbelievable from starxo. As the spike drops onto the deck.
Re-clear it, so this occasion looks a lot quicker, and now audaz wants to challenge Shin, and he will win that first duel.
Aye, well, it's a big one to lose because that's the control on the map. You can no longer go and fight for control. No longer smoke off mains. Chiwa though, he's going to fight for the control himself through shot.
Yeah. Still rifles in play for ULF though. They've recovered a couple of them, and with audaz so far up on the A site, gets completely overlooked by CyvOph. His numbers restored for the Turkish outfit as they cast their banner across the A site, scrambling back to try and fight them. Joblife not able to catch the coattails, claw back anything as it stands.
Yeah. Trap to stop players getting out, and it's delay after delay, and with time now taking effect, seems if
it's so hard between the two.
Oh, and purple loses it. That's not what you want. That was your big information, and it looks like Sop's just ready to hit straight into this. A trade indirectly on towards CyvOph, who got his first pick, but starxo on 5 HP, needs to be careful, and he is. Wins against audaz. More players heading his way, and that's a massive pick, as well as chiwa. And now that spike goes down in a 2 versus 1.
Yeah, starxo over-delivering in that situation, but it falls on the shoulders of Echo, so capable.
That he is. First engagement against the opposite cypher, who, chiwa, let's be honest, at times has proven absolutely sensational. A valuable player to have on your sites. Both players now known about. Echo should know that he's in a top.
Early doors.
That's a nice aggressive stance as we see ULF try to execute straight in. It's only chiwa deposited to the back of sight, and he's going to activate at the right time. Knows that the players were trying to destroy his trap. And this is a well-planned retake, flood by Joblife that's netted them 2 kills.
A little bit more of the pre-take. They were just set up and ready to go.
Yeah.
Chiwa with that trap crossed from switch means that no player could get into position. The Hunter's Fury catching them, funneling through lane. Now leaving us in a 5 versus 3, but ULF have recovered these before. It is effectively a 3 versus 3 on the B site.
At the end of the day, the big thing here is not to give 1 versus 1s, which ULF has already been able to find. Nekky not considering stairs, a common position which chiwa finds himself on, and the rest of Joblife find him getting kills. It was only CyvOph at the back of sight, that was the only one gifted. And audaz, a capable player in his leaders here, as they are on the lesser buy.
So Hunter's Fury invested towards short this time. On the attack side, nekky, range limited, won't find that final bolt onto Purpo. Sop accelerating into A. But these Sheriffs haven't been able to do all too much up until this point. Favian trying to keep trading it forwards. There's little left to be said of it though. And yeah, okay, nice shot from audaz. Coming in from both ends here. ULF laying up an opportunity. Nekky onto starxo. Low HP inside this smoke. Missed shot from chiwa in the meantime. It still hangs in the balance. I don't know how this has got anywhere near as close as it is.
Well, chiwa at least has the ulti to gain spike down,
Spike
and
planted.
nekky waiting for his info dart to come back online, even going for a wrap.
It's quite a bit of runway here that nekky's had to set up, but chiwa is so confident to re-clear this space with the knowledge in mind that his traps have just bookmarked it. Signposted Joblife Authority. As the site itself has now been cleared. 2 cages, 2 chances to get this spike halfway worked on. And it is just the tap. Perhaps as long as Purpo can make this operator work, it's CyvOph sitting. Echo being left late towards B. We've seen this a couple of times already now, but cleared out by the
30
utility.
seconds left.
Joblife really trying to force this one as much as possible, but it has caught them a little bit blind to the A execution as it does drop in. First player forwards will be audaz with the TP, and he opens up yet again. Another player felled from Dice. But he's got so much more left to do. 13 seconds. Spike still not in.
10
Finally,
seconds left.
Favian's hands are busy, but audaz is the one that's got to hold the line.
planted.
3 from him and 3 from CyvOph.
enemy
To go
remaining.
one step further. It's all on Favian. Not the best of performances from him so far. Gonna need some magic. Not gonna get it. Past the 40-second mark. Onto
30
chiwa's sight
seconds
again. CyvOph has come over to support. Echo able to claim him mid-TP. Ulf's last attempt or so falling flat here.
That it has. It feels as if they've let the grains of sand just fall to the dying embers.
10 seconds left.
I mean,
I have the spike.
it just leaves me mind boggled. This execution from them in the end is so staggered, and Joblife are going to head into the final round of the opening. Purpo missed shot. Characteristic, perhaps, but the next does hit, of course. The A site open for the taking in the meantime. Ulf with an opportunity for an after plant, but audaz threading the needle through the smoke. Bedlam incurring as the tour de force is out for Purpo. He overexerts himself as the spike is still not in. CyvOph from main.
standing.
Nekky to trade it. 1v1 with chiwa on only 13 points of health. So the captain will be given daylight to drop this one into the ground.
And the worst part about it is CyvOph has to try and get a
Spike
rifle
planted.
because that outlaw is not the fight that he wants to take. So while he's ran all the way back, found himself a Vandal with 13 points of health, he needs to hit ahead. He needs to make this a clean fight, or nekky has won the round.
He's also got a drop in with movement error. Nekky could deliver elsewhere and head towards B, but Joblife feel committed. 20 seconds, they've got to go A.
And there's still a trap up and available on A main. That's what's to note. Echo at the back of sight, looking to bunker things down. And as soon as someone hits the trap, he gets
10
the kill.
seconds left.
Still 4-4 though, and making that an advantage
planted.
through audaz. This is going to be a real opportunity for Ulf.
Clean shots, but cheer on the back line.
Already, first headshot hit. This is going back and forth. It's a conversation, and one which Ulf looks to overpower. That door down will stop nekky getting back into sight. So realistically, it's decided by the heaven jump out. When the players come through, damage is dealt, but nothing in terms of re-kills. The spike
defuse.
being diffused. It's already by half. It's already by
To back
full.
pistols on this final map, which they've been able to procure from the hands of
10
Joblife, pry
seconds
away
left.
from them on that TP.
I must wait a moment.
I have to remember, this is just classics. Unless Echo gets overwhelmed beyond his setup, you're not too worried about it, but with the headhunter in, Purpo's happy to amplify the chances. Shin follows it up, gets the Bulldog, and just about has the timing to fell Sop in his wake. This is a huge loss for Ulf if they can't find a way to recover it, and they're
player
just thinking
standing.
about saving the guns. I don't think they're going to be able to.
This is an unbelievable round to bounce back straight with from Joblife. The fact that they're now going to be able to find themselves in a position where they essentially reset the economy in their favour. Considering that Sop is glass cannon, one bullet from the outlaw would be enough to take him out.
It's Sop's the clone, but B is where you expect things to end.
That's where you would expect it, but if they can catch the A player rotating out, there's a chance that they could easily go
30
elsewhere.
seconds left.
This is where the Cypher setup is here though, has it?
Scanning ahead.
The first trap hit, broken by the shock, revealed deep in main, 20 seconds still. Joblife a little slow on the uptake, and Favian creeping in behind. Misses an absolute sitter and sells the rest of his team down the river. It's got to be Echo, if anyone else on the site. Oh, 3 huge kills from Echo. He's won the round outright by himself. So much work done by the youngster. Weapons to follow this one up with. Stop on the Guardian though, could hit a shot or two. Hampered, chased down. The tags just stop him in his tracks, and with that, Joblife have created that early advantage for themselves.
I cannot.
Favian in the corner, he was worried about getting cleared out by the drone. It will be CyvOph instead to trade out, so still kills being found, but even trades isn't what ULF need. They need advantages, they need multi-kills right now, and they're just not finding them.
Setting themselves up for it though. Nekky sticking his neck out, looking for a duel in short. Finding one, it's CyvOph though, and that has not tended to end well so far in this round. 3 under his belt, and with the Euro ult invested, one gets cleared out, spam damage, audaz not enough.
To go, Sop being a little bit more regressed in his position, but look at Chiwa. He's so far up and not considered the pizza position. The worst thing about it is Chiwa only saw the op. So with that being said, Nekky now sits in the corner.
Yeah,
unannounced.
Smoke behind this now though, so it's not going to matter all too much unless Joblife really want to go ahead and clear it, but seeming to scale quite rapidly towards the A site, or threaten it at least. It's this shaky mid-rounding again where they use both the fake out and the drone. Last time it wasn't a commitment.
Oh no.
This time is it? The spike is still there.
Still not checking towards pizza, even though you saw the jet from there last time. Still not considering the position that wasn't cleared last time.
He's not going to get one more from this corner. He actually can't.
No, there's a good chance he does. And there is. He's got another 3 kills from the one spot between 2 different players. A 2 versus 4. And you've got to try and get by Echo, of all people, as the trap lights up purple. Utility ready, but still nothing in terms of real engagements. Even getting the Hunter's Fury in, it's starting to build to be a powder keg, because ULF are starting to move players towards the A site. Spike needs to be committed, needs to get down, and the more time that Joblife take, the more time ULF can get to get into position, and when they reveal themselves, it's Joblife to win the fights. But Spike dropped so low in time, it's going to be an issue that the French side have to try and get through. 8 seconds left. Favian just needs to deny the Spike going down, just needs to keep himself alive. The spam not hitting, and the round won by ULF. Go once again, all even. Not a lot of rounds left as audaz allows the clone to go by, trying to play from his own smoke, and he catches CyvOph trying.
But audaz had already preemptively placed a smoke, and because the drone was broken, Joblife had no idea that he couldn't have been revealed in that corner. It was really nice micro. That's what gives them the 5 versus 4. But Joblife, undetected, have found themselves right in the choke of the A site. Looking at Purpo.
That's the big thing. Purple identified, but is it a luck or is it the full execute? Echo hearing the trap being destroyed is worried that it could be more, but the tap of the spike confirms it. This is the Joblife execute.
Yeah, moving into afterplant here as well, because Sop was on the line for so long, they kind of understand now that there is no second layer to this. Neural Theft coming in just to confirm. And with the retake, you've got almost all of Favian's utility up and the recon.
Yeah, still a trap to try and get through as well. A real problem.
what?
That flash is a team flash. Favian still capitalises off the back of it. And chiwa at the back.
Namely this Yoru ult, to take that initial site control themselves. And there it is.
And there's a big utility offline through the knife, but for the most part, ULF are happy to play slow into this one. And it's just going to be a set retake with the spike going down now.
Yeah, all flying in the face of what Joblife were doing. They've read the situation correctly. Now is the retake. 5 versus 5 with main control to be taken. If they call in this ult at the right time, the trap will drop. And nekky could have found a timing. Okay, who cares? He wins the duel anyway.
That's what you expect from these ULF boys. They know exactly what to do when it comes to the gunfights, but it's not going their way this time. starxo's been unbelievable. A 3 versus 3 now, and it could still go ULF's way. And a 2 versus 2 on site. CyvOph and starxo
Doing some decent work already. Paranoia played through mid, but yeah, it's a little bit early from ULF. They don't get full capitalization. audaz has to be careful not to be caught, and he won't.
He won't be, but eventually he will be by CyvOph. A big double kill to come right out of May. Nekky though, trying to hold on to site, can't do. It's chaos, but it's one in which Joblife later in this week. Joblife tried to brute force their way through mid, and ULF immediately respond to it. 2 big kills, and it sets them up perfectly for the rest of the round.
That it does. Forfeiting main control. Echo firing over his own trap. Risk adverse as always, as will be audaz. Has to drop off a little bit here. Joblife scaling quickly towards the A site.
They are. And there's a trap that stops the spike getting out towards main, and well, the chamber identified it. Purple at least able to respond, but it's going to have to be an ace clutch, or we will be going to overtime. The spike needs to be committed somehow, and it will be by Purple, but he is revealed, and there's players looking to send it his way.
Comes in.
But where does the execution go?
It's a fake market play.
It is a fake market play. And when they try to hit in towards A, it's where the gunfights go next. And chiwa and Shin are completely routed out. Up to CyvOph, the spam working through, the spray hitting, but the next kill was most important. And he can't find it. The spike down, and a 2 versus 4 needs to be attempted. And you have to retake with an operator.
Yeah, what an execution from ULF here at the last dance. With Joblife, Purpo has to hit some shots. His op has not been all too consistent so far this map, but it needs to be here.
Yeah, it does. It needs to be hit. The shots need to be clean, and there's nothing clean about this from Joblife. It's been messy. At least Purple's able to find the first and the second.
To credit them, it's an open A site. There is only Favian here. He has struggled up until this point, but could have the play which seals the series.
It could be, but Shin and through CT misses his chance, and no smokes for the rest of the round. A tap at the spike, but Favian from hell is the player to potentially win the round. Joblife to be sent packing against 5 young guns, but it's been this man, the captain, the leader, to go by example, and has 3 bodies to try and fight up against. Sop first, nekky next in line. They're all queuing up, looking for a chance at starxo, but it's been denied. And finally won. ULF will beat Joblife
At a scoreline of 14-12.